Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Fellowship of the D20. We actually played our very first game on June 19th in 2022, and that means that I totally forgot our 2-year anniversary. I mixed up the dates, so my bad, folks. But happy 2-year anniversary to you, lady and gentlemen, nonetheless. Not a whole lot of groups stay together for this long, from what I understand. And we have had our ups or downs as individuals, but as a party, God damn it, we've stayed together. And we're here over 2 years later, about to dive into another session. So slancha, skull, and kapla, my friends.
Nice.
It is,
Kapla.
yes, it is once
For
again
more-
on.
No, go on.
It is once again on like a polyhedron. But before we dive into what is awesomely turning into a horror campaign, let me get you caught up onto our last session as the BBEG of all our adventures, masterminding it all, finally reveals just how long he's been among us with the haunting Rolling Stone song. We started off last session just after Cirrus had a legal discussion with Asmodeus and Tiamat over who has the rights to the evil mace left over in a corpse of an enemy slain by Eenie Meenie. Like Matt Murdock in the real Hell's Kitchen, Cirrus fought for Eenie Meenie's right to the evil mace and won, and it ended up actually just being tossed in a hole created by Asmodeus and fell into the river Styx. This would be an ongoing thing. Asmodeus left, but my money says that he won't forget that little slight, and it's going to come back and bite us in our collective asses. We were immediately approached by a man that radiated so much evil, it was blinding when Eleutheria used detect evil and good. As we were standing around discussing what to do, this evil bastard approaching like Freddy Krueger in an alleyway, he laughs at us in a way that seemed as if he was actually delighting in the evil of it all. But then his head rolls off his shoulders and his body dissolves. And even when he dissolves, the laughter actually gets louder. Then Azazel from Fallen, for lack of a better name at this point, in the form of a Nothic with Fitzgerald's voice, starts singing. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Just to taunt us. Meanwhile, Cirrus had enough and threw a dagger at the Nothic, and the Nothic broke into many, many Nothics. But we hear this song again, this time from all around us, from the walls, from the corpses. Then, in the voice of almost every major villain we have faced on our adventures, even Fizzgrit and the treacherous Jackie D'Antonio. It was then that I knew that we had forgotten about the cat and Azazel was mocking us. Right about then, Cirrus noticed that the bones of the dead that were down the hall are reassembling into bone dragons because of the necromantic magic on the glyphs and the walls. But our problems were greater than we realized. Just stepping out of the room where the Phandalin 5 had sought protection, Bjorn and Eenie Meenie were slammed with so much evil that they needed to make wisdom saving throws. While Eenie Meenie made his, Bjorn was floored with terror and petrified with fear. He looked down at his balls to save him, only to find that they had betrayed him and ascended once again into his abdomen. And the bone dragons moved closer toward us, its hollow bones clickety-clacking together, beating out the rhythm of our death. But Eenie Meenie grabs Bjorn and drags him back inside the protected room, and the fear that consumed him outside the room was lifted. Cirrus sent Cassie, his familiar, down the hall to see what could be seen, making sure to avoid the dragon and go beyond. But before Cirrus knew what was going on, the bond between him and his familiar Cassie was gone. All that remained after the severing was some residual psychic connection for a brief time. Then, even though Cirrus banished Cassie and ended the spell, Cassie flew right towards him, and Cirrus, being quick with the throw, drew his dagger and killed her. Then an aura rises up from Cassie's body, and it goes over to Eenie Meenie and touches each one of the triplets, and they too begin singing Azazel's song. It was at this point that Eleutheria cast protection from good and evil on Bjorn and Eenie Meenie. Basically exactly what they needed to fight the Bone Dragon. But before we have a chance to run off and fight, Boja has an awesome idea. Using Channel Divinity and a Bless Spell, Boja disenchanted the necromantic magic on the glyphs and consecrated them once again in the name of Torm, Lathander, Helm, and Tyr. And this was done despite actually being in hell, which actually gave us a safe place to rest in Avernus. Call Guinness, folks, that's a record. And with that, we head south. We enter a room with 5 marble statues of deities. 4 of them have been destroyed, but the statue that has not been destroyed has writing on it. On the other side of the room is Jackie D'Antonio and Azazel in the Nothic with Fizgrit's voice, and he wants to play a game. Well, while Bjorn is questioning what game he wants to play, Eenie Meenie already has a game he wants to play, and he hucks his spear at Azazel. Roll for initiative. But that battle was nuts, and some really big heavy hitters showed up to that battle, including a fucking Baldur, for Christ's sake. But you're gonna have to watch the last episode to get the deets on that. I can tell you that we jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire trying to escape one battle, we found another. When it was over, we were all in desperate need of a long rest as we were busted up and spent. Just then, the shadow of Takesis, aka Tiamat since 4E, rises up behind Eenie Meenie, and his skin becomes like that of a red dragon, having been blessed by Tiamat herself. Boja walked up to Eenie Meenie and healed him for 60 points using the last of her spells. Examining the battlefield, we found a great weapon called a Heart Cleaver, left over from our enemy that was older than time itself. It deals 2d10 magical damage as a base, but it takes on different properties and abilities based on who is wielding it. But there, of course, is a catch. It is inherently the darkest of evil, and it is corrupting. So corrupting, in fact, that the wielder of the Heart Cleaver becomes Baphomet reborn over time and rules the 600 plane of the abyss. We considered destroying it, but it would need to be on the 600 plane of the abyss to be destroyed, and it would require magic that none of us have and likely will never have. The weapon tempted us all to take it, but only Sira seemed to have been tempted as he started calling it his weapon. But it was he who suggested that we throw the weapon into the river Styx. Just then, Boja's head lights on fire like Ghost Rider, and she hurls her morning star like Zeus from Olympus onto the ground, and the ground begins to fall away where the morning star struck, and the Heart Cleaver fell into the crevice that was created all the way down into the river Styx as demons and devils in the sea of blackness dove after it. Afterwards, Yes. Afterwards, Boja sat praying with blood and fire leaking out of her ears, and she was completely unresponsive, and she was made deaf by what happened. And with that, I will hand it on over to Diemesis for the game.
All right. Very good recap. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So the last time we had left then, you correctly pointed out that the weapon had fallen down towards the river Styx. I don't know that. I think one of the things that had happened, though, you had seen that Azazel had swooped in and grabbed the weapon. So
we didn't actually see what happened to it. We lost track of it on the way down.
Yeah, okay. Every demon and devil, especially demons, like just swarmed it like flies, like on a drop of shit.
Right.
Yeah. And we did see several of them plunge into the river, so that was kind of satisfying.
Yes. So, meanwhile, Boja is still deaf at the moment and not sure how long this will affect her and bleeding. But at the moment, you are at relative calm, or as calm as you can be, with the giant hole in the floor going towards the river Styx. And one of your members bleeding and having recently looked like Ghost Rider, as Mike so succinctly put it, and Cirrus recovering from his precious having plunged down towards the river Styx. So with that, you are still in this bottom part of this temple, somewhere in Avernus, in the middle of the city, and still looking for the Lord of Baldur's Gate, and trying to figure out where to go from here as you seek to complete this, I guess you could call it a quest set to you by Asmodeus. So I will leave it with all of you now to decide what you do next. So,
and we're still looking for a helm, right?
Yes.
All right.
And doesn't one of us have a cursed shield that keeps trying to be free?
That's Boja.
That's Boja?
Yep. Speaking of Boja, I can cast Lesser Restoration to cure her deafness.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think we've actually taken our long rest yet because I can see I've got a dearth of hit points on my character sheet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
No,
Yeah,
we
the,
had
the
just finished
last
this
thing that
big battle.
happened was we watched Baphomet's weapon fall into the abyss while Cirrus was cursing out Saren Ray.
Yeah.
Not for getting rid of the weapon, which was his plan anyway, but because she took over Boja's body and made her blast a hole in the floor. And he's a little touchy about that.
He's a little
Well,
touchy.
She doesn't get a pass because she did it in such awesome fashion. All Ghost Rider with the Zeus shit going on and everything.
No, because Boja didn't do it. Saren Ray took over her body and did it, and I think that's fucking rude to do to your high priestess and possibly one of your most powerful representatives in creation.
Well, as a matter of fact, Sarah Ray, this is out of character knowledge, this is meta knowledge, but Sarah Ray did not take over Boja's body. Boja spoke, the goddess screamed danger and to Saren Ray's mind, but the presence of the actual goddess's voice at that moment, she didn't put any firewalls or anything in there, actually deafened Saren Ray or deafened Boja. So,
Yeah.
she got the Metatron treatment from Dogma, if you know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But from Cirrus's perspective,
From Cirrus's perspective, it's
Sure.
just the gods meddling again in something we were perfectly capable of handling on our own.
well, we all know there's the truth, and then there's Cirrus's perspective. So you know,
Mhm.
But
reject
Cirrus's perspective, but Cirrus's perspective is also the correct one.
yes, of course.
According to Cirrus. Yeah.
I mean that goes without saying. So you know,
It's funny, you and Cirrus and Sheldon seem to have that in common.
hold on, I got to get up.
This is-
I'm in Cirrus's chair, so hold on for a minute.
that's my spot. I'm
All
going to
right.
say anywhere else, but that's my spot.
All right. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take a long rest now.
We need to get into that room, and then we can take a long rest.
Are we going to
that where we're
spend the
at?
rest of our mortal existence in the basement of the High Hall of El Turil that's been summoned to Avernus?
No.
Possibly.
Because it's
Well-
seeming that way.
Well,
I got a way
basically,
out.
we need to be able to make it more than 5 feet without
Well-
all sorts of hell breaking loose. And then
To
we
be-
can move beyond the basement.
Where we are right
Which
now,
is in hell.
where we are right now is where the formerly desecrated idols have been reconsecrated. So we are
Yeah.
technically base.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
couldn't we...
Base.
Wait, the wall of that room was destroyed, wasn't it?
And
What's
now
that?
that Eleutheria has cast a spell on Boja, Cirrus will check on her as well to make sure she's okay.
There's an opening on the floor to out into Avernus at the moment, but this room has been sanctified and reconsecrated, and is probably the one safe place in Avernus. So
Yeah.
yes, currently
Okay.
you're okay.
I would say this is probably the place to take a long rest. I can cast Lamlin's tiny hut, and we'll all be fine.
I will take first watch.
Second.
Third.
Jeff,
Last.
just so that you are aware, there is
I
a
think
delay
we should let
from
Boja
when you-
rest.
There's a video delay. I don't know what's happening. Like you're talking, but the video of you is coming afterwards or something. It's so weird.
Test. On my end, it looks like everything is synced, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
All right.
It's working fine. I didn't know if you were aware of that or whatever.
It's all good.
I'm not because like I said, for me it looks completely synced. So more high
I'm
strangeness because technology, as we all acknowledge.
I'm getting a little bit of a lag from you too, Jeff, but I don't usually watch like the video while we're playing, so I hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I'm I'm bullshitting you out. I'm actually pulling an Andy Kaufman on all of you.
Here I come to save the day. Sorry.
Great bitch.
You know, I actually watched him
All
do
right.
his wrestling bit on TV when I was a kid.
Commitment, man. Talk about commitment. I will say I'm not responsible for the vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
All right, so
Yeah.
does anybody need to take a long rest? Looking over mine and Boja's stuff, we're actually not as hurt as I first thought, and she's still pretty good on spells. If you want
Actually,
to
we
continue
do.
forward, or do you guys want to take?
We do need to take a long rest. If for nothing else, we leveled up last time, and we need
Yeah.
to take a long rest before that takes effect.
Yep.
Shit, totally forgot to level up my character. It's been so long. Crap.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'll figure it out later. I think Jen did level hers up though. Let's see. Everybody level 17 now or 16?
Yep. 17.
17.
Yeah, okay. Both these characters got to be leveled up, but I will.
We ordered number 17 off the menu just to celebrate.
Bring on that
Wow.
proficiency bonus and sneak attack damage.
In
Yep.
in
Fourth Eldritch
Kobold,
Blast.
in Kobold, Eeny Meeny is discussing with himself how we taste like chicken.
Well, the theory is everything only tastes like chicken because the Matrix doesn't know how to make.
Because the
different
Matrix. I always loved that idea. That was a brilliant piece of little world building there. All right, so
well, Nem, how is the night going? You're being
Well,
rather
your night-
quiet over there.
The night goes. I was just listening to you guys. The night goes without any dangers at all. It appears that the sanctified area from Boja's cutting plan is still holding, and that you are quite safe here. So
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I believe the night was moist.
Right.
The night was sultry.
yes,
Yes, somebody was there. I'm gonna throw her off the train now. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill the bitch.
Wait, is that a throw mama from the train reference?
It is.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah. Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito
Whoops,
couldn't
sorry.
figure out their story. They kept saying things like the night was wet, the night was moist, and Mom was like, "It was sultry. I'm leaving this car."
okay, all right.
And that was when Billy Crystal went from he wasn't gonna kill her to I'm gonna kill that bitch.
Okay. I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
Me neither, but that line stuck in my head.
Some things stick, some things don't.
Yeah.
All right. So in that
All
case, if the night passes a-okay, according to Nim, I'll hit the long rest button.
Cool.
I personally don't mind if you take a minute to level up your character, because otherwise you're kind of behind the rest of us.
It's
not only
fine.
that,
I don't want to level up Boja's character because it's not for me to decide what attribute she's going to choose for her character. Because I would have to level up both characters, and
Yeah, that's
one
fair.
level behind, not that big a deal.
Sears will spend part of his time on Last Watch in prayer, of all things, asking the gods, why is it every time he finally gets his hands on a cool weapon, it has to be destroyed 5 minutes later, while everyone else gets to keep theirs?
it's because we love you, Sirius.
Fuck you, Tempest. I wasn't talking to you.
I mean, I've got a cool weapon and a cool shield, but they both try and kill me periodically.
Mm.
I've had friends like that.
I had a really cool weapon until you guys had a problem with me destroying everything.
To keep that after we destroyed the gate. I was having so much fun with that.
Hey, I had a really cool weapon until I killed Carlsruhe with it.
It's true. That's true. But honestly,
is true.
had you not sacrificed that particular weapon, I'm not sure it would have worked.
We
True.
would have been in deep poodoo. All right. Anybody else got anything they're doing over the course of the night's rest?
I can't think of anything.
Well, yeah, but I'm doing it over in the corner, and you guys shouldn't see me.
Naked barbarian is naked. I'm honing my weapon.
Ouch.
You got a whole new euphemism.
All right, onward and upward.
Hey,
Yep.
All right.
Cirrus will attempt to cast Find Familiar as a ritual and see if it feels appropriate.
Find familiar.
Yeah,
Well, since
he
got
calls
taken
calls
over.
Cassie every day. He's just waiting to see if the psychic connection's in place properly because she
Yes.
freaked out on it.
I thought you killed Cassie with a dagger, and then the spirit rose up out of her, and then went and did the song thing to Eeny Meeny.
Cassie was possessed, but yes, her physical form was destroyed.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
it's not-
but I had
think-
already dismissed her, so I didn't know
Yeah.
if I would be able to
Oh,
summon a new familiar.
You cast, for a moment, there is a pause. You are unsure and frightened that Cassie might not return. But then the ritual completes successfully, and Cassie returns whole and actually somewhat almost feels blessed by the room now and return to you in the fullness of your psychic connection. So,
Nice.
Cool.
nice.
I will pat her on her head.
nice. Cassie does Cassie things when you pat her on the head. So,
All right.
Boja will wander over and touch Cassie. It's nice to see you back looking. She was a bit concerned, like Cirrus, that this foul place might have corrupted Cassie to the point that we could not, she could not be restored.
okay.
If she can be just if Cassie can be just summoned again, she doesn't actually have, she's not bound to a physical form.
No, and it's not actually the same creature even day by day.
Okay.
Wizards just like to pretend that it is.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we need to go through the room where the creepy statues were.
Okay.
All right.
Now that we've rested up,
So-
let's go back the
Down
way we
here?
came.
Well, Boja will go over to Cirrus. As long as you are willing to hold your tongue, it probably won't be a problem this time.
I'm sorry?
Excuse me,
Well, if you're
Eeny Meeny.
it was
You
it
were the
was your-
one that hucked the spear last time we were in this room.
this was Boja. This was Boja talking.
Oh,
Because last time we went through there, Gret brought Baphomet down upon us.
Oh. Yeah. That guy was a dick.
Agreed. And rather petty.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I'm sure he
was
wouldn't
petty,
dare
but-
do that twice.
I like the cut of your jib, sir. Lightning doesn't strike twice in the same. Not even in hail.
Okay. Looks like we're just going right on into the room. Okay.
So once again, you enter this room. It is much the same as you left it, although you were still getting flashbacks and bad memories from the battle that you had. But everything seems to be relatively calm, which is disconcerting in and of itself. But nothing is happening to you at the moment.
Okay, odd question. Are the beaten up statues still beaten up?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to worry if they were like self-healing. I would like to search this room.
Okay.
Oh, that should not have been with me.
That's all right.
Roll
no,
twice with advantage. That was an enthusiastic roll there, Drake.
You search the room thoroughly, but you find nothing else beyond what you had already found on your cursory investigations before we had gone through.
I thought we were unable to search because Jackie D'Antonio and Bizgrit and then the Baldur and Baphomet.
Well, that's why I said cursory examinations. So.
Oh, okay.
So there's nothing much in this room, but that's good and bad. So, as I said, the statues are still in the state they were before. They are not self-healing or anything, but the room itself is rather nondescript, and it seems like, as I said, things are relatively calm at the moment, which is disconcerting because that has not been the natural state of your investigations or your experience in Avernus so far. Does that mean
Sorry.
Go ahead. It's like, does that mean that there's something waiting for you ahead? I don't know. It might actually look clear at the moment. So,
is that a sarcophagus in the middle?
it is a sarcophagus.
I wonder what's in the sarcophagus.
That might be the cheapest sarcophagus ever made, but yes, I think it is a sarcophagus. That's like the poor man's sarcophagus. Like, you're not a king, but we did like you a little bit, so.
Yes, a true king would have his sarcophagus inlaid with gold and gems. This one's merely stone, as in.
Well, it's got a couple of boards like barely tacked together, like as a lid over the thing.
I stopped listening at gold and gems. Sirius is going to investigate the sarcophagus.
Looking at the sarcophagus, are we about to do a gold member joke there?
No, I. Whenever I think of Sirius, I always flash back to when you guys found the golden bell.
Made of pure.
He's like, but it's solid gold.
I love gold. All right. You investigate the sarcophagus. The top of the sarcophagus is incredibly worn. It looks to be worn from age, not abuse. But the closer you look, it appears as though many hands have gone over the stone over time. You're not sure why the hands have been on the stone, but they've been worn away. But the closer you look, you could tell that there used to be a effigy of a person carved into the sarcophagus. You could see, as you, if you choose to, run your own hands over it, that the effigy appears to be a person who was laying in repose, arms crossed across his body, looking up at the sky.
Ah, like Aragorn.
Yes.
Do y'all know how many people would have to run their hands across a stone effigy before it starts to get worn off?
Three.
Yes.
I was going to say at least 12.
Three.
You should see the feet of some of the statues around the Vatican. All worn from people putting their hands on them and praying and stuff.
I was going to say 3 is the Professor Thaddeus answer.
I always those pock marks in the training yard, the Shaolin temples, where so many monks have done their forms and stomped in those places that they've created divots in the stone floor. That's pretty
yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
Well, that's generations and generations and generations
No,
of
but
stomping. Yeah,
it's still cool to think about.
it is. Well, Bruce Lee said, "You be like water." You know, even if it's drop at a time, if water can still go through rock.
Perhaps sarcophagus used to be adorned with gold, silver, and jewels, but it has been picked clean.
One of your relatives came through here, perhaps, Cirrus?
What do devils need with gold?
Mostly to tempt mortals.
Yep.
There are many ways to
It's
tempt
just
mortals.
people. I think it was just people rubbing on the stone, though, from the looks of it. Weirdos.
Boja examines the sarcophagus, looking to see if there's any scriptural writings that she can make out, or if those have been worn away. Anything that might indicate who was laid to rest here.
Do not touch.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check, please.
Right on, right on. Not her best roll. And I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save that that 20, that auto crit for whenever Jennifer's playing. I will not be using that.
Okay.
Okay.
Unless she's back.
You search around. She searches around very carefully, looking around the base of the sarcophagus at the top. You don't find any inscriptions at all. You don't see anything that speaks to you other than what Cirrus had already noticed about pointing out the apparent effigy that had been carved that has been worn away over time and attention of some sort. You're not sure how.
It probably had boobs on it.
Yes.
I want to do something. I want to do something else. I would like to investigate it for peculiar smells, because I have advantage at that.
Okay.
Because she has that keen sense of smell. Let's see, advantage. Just to see if you've got any other weirdness going on here.
You sniff carefully. You're a little disconcerting. Boja's trunk, prehensile trunk, snaking out and moving along the top of the sarcophagus around the sides, sniffing. At first, you only smell the dust, the general scent of death that is still in this area from the various battles that you have been in. But you do get the slightest hint of old death, of musty bones coming from inside the sarcophagus, as time has meant that it is not as well sealed as it used to be.
Time is not on our side.
Yes.
Cirrus would like to check it for secret doors, tripwires, and traps, and this one he does get advantage on.
I'll pass that information along. Cirrus know that the casket is no longer hermetically sealed. I can smell the death within.
You check for various traps and everything. You do not find any evidence of any traps. It looks clear. Still looks clear.
I think we should open it. Let me rephrase. I think Bjorn should open it.
I was expecting you to say, like, let me rephrase. I'm going to open it.
No, I think Bjorn with the big strong muscles should open it.
Well,
Well, he's not the only one with big, strong muscles. If you want Eni to open it,
Okay. I think
He's,
someone who isn't
he's-
me should open it.
I'll,
It's not trapped. There are no secret compartments on it.
are there any spells written on it anywhere?
Boja said it smells like old death.
No spells.
He
Are there
said
Oh.
spells written on it
I thought you
anywhere?
said smells.
Is there a curse on this thing if we open it or something?
I'd be impressed if there were smells written on it. That is some real talent right there. So
I mean,
that's
if you give me 10 minutes, I could tell you about the spell thing. Well, I could tell you about magic if you give me 10
Oh.
minutes.
I mean, I could look at it and see if the detect magic shows on the sarcophagus.
That would make me feel more comfortable about opening.
okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check as well, Steve.
Okay. Not my best skill, but I'll try.
I mean, Bjorn doesn't know this, but I do
Meanwhile,
recall opening one of these things being
Oh.
how the mummy started.
And let me throw this in there as well. 26.
Meanwhile, Eni is getting bored, and he's just restlessly poking the statue with his spear. Clink, 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 clink.
The statue turns to you and says, "Stop it." No, that didn't really happen, or maybe it did.
Or
the
did it?
shrooms.
Eleuthera takes her time and looks around the sarcophagus, using her innate ability to detect magic. And you at first are ready to declare that there's no magic around it, but you notice the small cracks here and there that have caused the sarcophagus to no longer be hermetically sealed. You detect the faint glow of magic from within the sarcophagus.
Yeah, I relay that to Cirrus.
Can you
It's
tell
just
what
To the
kind
guy
of-
who, not to the guy who's gonna open it. You're gonna tell that to Cirrus.
Well, all you guys.
Okay.
can you tell what kind of magic it is? Eleuthera?
I should be able
Enchantment.
to. Yeah, what is the school?
You detect a enchantment
All right.
within,
Looks like enchantment.
but you also detect a second glow that has a different light and feel to it that you think is some sort of necromantic magic.
Of course.
Okay,
it
I'm
is.
out. I'm not opening.
You know,
that fucking thing.
I might have left my new weapon in there, Bjorn. Why don't you open it?
Because I'm not a retard.
Well, all
Oh,
right.
shut up. Whatever.
He just said there was magic inside the thing. I said I was worried about opening it if there was magic in there. Are you
Eni?
following?
Eeny, meeny, on the count of 3. You with me?
Yes, yeah.
3.
All right.
What if there's a curse on that thing, and you opening that thing is gonna put the curse on you, Eeny Meeny? I'm just
What's it gonna do? Send us to hell?
Bjorn, are you going to step back or are you going to
Any-
stay right there?
I'm gonna step back.
About curse, you're asking about curse on his fingers, and you can guess that he's probably counting the number of curses that are already on him at this point.
The 4 of you get around the sarcophagus lid and lift it up. It takes some effort to get it out because you are not expecting that the lid itself extends into the floor. Much like when you, if you remember in Indiana Jones, when they were opening the
In the Last Crusade.
yes.
Okay.
And but you lift it up and are able to. Well, why don't you guys give me a strength check to if you put the stone lid down carefully or if you just drop it to the side. So,
All right.
Strict check from
Check.
and eeny meeny. So
Whoops. That wasn't supposed to be. I'm de-toggling my advantage, but 18.
all right.
Oh, 12.
Yeah. So the four of you lift it up, and once you get it up out of the ground, it is so uncomfortable and unwieldy that you kind of just manage to keep it from not falling on you, but you toss it to the side, and it cracks open and breaks apart. And everybody give me a perception check.
I'm sure we'll have no need to close it.
It'll be fine.
Open the gate. Open the
Don't
gate.
even bother.
Close it. Close it.
Bjorn, don't even bother rolling.
Right?
Cirrus got a 36.
Okay.
I did roll and it didn't come up. Oh, there it is.
Let's
Yep.
see.
You were saying?
All right. So, Eleuthera and Cirrus, you notice the faintest whispers of white magic seep out from the stone and dissipate into the air, appearing to be burned up in the infernal air that you are now in again before disappearing completely.
Oh, damn. Eleuthera, do you think that was holy magic we just unleashed into the necrosphere?
Maybe. It seemed like it could have been.
Oh, now you're worried about unleashing the magic.
Well, I just feel bad for the magic if we released it and it got burnt up. But it was already.
I didn't even know how to respond to that.
All right. What's in the?
Is there still magic in the sarcophagus?
I don't know.
Looking
Is there?
Yeah, what's in the
What's in the
box?
box, dude?
Looking inside the sarcophagus, couple things happen all at once. You notice that there is a probably fairly well preserved, it's a skeleton, but judging by, I'll just say there is a skeleton in here. However, the bones are rapidly turning to dust as you watch. But the skeleton was holding a greatsword in his hand, and the greatsword is radiating magic. Well, Eleuthera would know that. But the skeleton itself is turning to dust before your eyes. And if you watch it for about a minute, it goes from being a full skeleton to nothing but dust in that time.
All right. I'm kind of curious about the greatsword. Is it like radiating evil of any kind, or?
It's radiating magic. You don't detect any evil about it.
Okay.
Also, I'm not going to make you make a perception check. You notice that there is a ring where one of the fingers used to be.
All right.
Oh, let's take a look at the ring.
Okay.
Yeah, is the ring magical?
The ring is not magical.
Okay.
However,
Is it a signet ring?
the ring is made of gold. It has several rubies and a large diamond right in the middle of the ring. Inside the diamond, somehow, maybe by magic, there is a symbol of Torm floating within it.
That's cool.
That
Boja's going to look
looks
at this
like it needs to
individual.
go to Boja. Yeah.
Would this indicate that this ring was being used as a holy symbol?
Okay.
It might.
Let me see.
I'm going to look over the raiment that's left behind. Is there anything that indicates that this person might have been of a clerical order or perhaps a paladin?
Everything that was organic in here, or like clothes and everything else, was preserved when it was first opened. But unless you were up there with Cirrus watching, it crumbled into dust and melted away. So.
Is the was the corpse dressed in any armor? Is there any armor left behind that might have some sort of significance as far as like heraldry upon it?
There are gauntlets that are laid to the side of where the skeleton was, where the corpse was.
Mm-hmm.
What about a helm?
But that is all. There's no helm.
Right.
If hold on, if this sarcophagus has all these cracks in it, it broke the hermetic seal.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was not exposure to air that made the organic stuff or the clothes or whatever go into dust. It was exposed to air already,
Nope.
so there was some sort of a magical seal on there.
Yeah, that was preserving it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we broke that.
Because that would be a spell that.
Or we just have really bad breath.
Both
All right.
are
Well,
very.
I know I certainly do, but
All right, I need to identify the the great sword.
Halitosis is a horrible thing.
Okay.
My
All right.
true, but it's
halitosis
also
catches
it is also a powerful ally.
It takes 10 minutes to. So you're gonna take the
Yeah, I'll do a ritual. Yeah,
the ritual to identify.
yeah.
All right. I assume everybody else is standing guard while Eleutheria is
No,
casting this ritual.
Sirius is going to hand the ring to Boja, the gold and ruby and diamond ring,
Mhm.
and then he's going to
Right.
wander over and peek in here while Eleutheria is identifying.
Okay, while Sirius is doing that, I will have my Echo keep pace with him, just to make sure if anything happens, he's got some sort of backup.
All right. I will tell you what's in that room in just a moment. So you managed to cast Identify on the greatsword and find that this greatsword is a greatsword of devotion. You don't know what that means, but that echoes in your mind as you identify it. As far as its abilities, you are able to determine that it's a greatsword +2, but there is some other enchantment on it that is confusing to you, even with your identify. It looks like there's something else that it can do, but it's not clear exactly how it works.
All right,
It
so I would
seem
have to
me
assume to know
a
that.
sort of
Be careful,
seem to me
Eleutheria.
that-
If you hold it too long, it'll turn you into Torm.
Yeah, you become the battle mage of Torm. So
Yeah, we're not gonna be doing that. Yeah, I'll kind of like gently put it away for now until we can get a closer look at it.
what were you going to say, Mike?
that a sort of devotion would probably fit best with our paladin.
Yeah, probably.
Our vampire paladin.
Yeah. Well, more like Dampier, but okay.
So
Tomato,
so-
tomato.
you put it away in a bag of holding or something at the moment. So
Yeah, for the moment.
okay. All right, you were able to return the sword to your bag of holding, no problem. I'm sorry if I'm a little out of it, guys. I'm
We understand.
Yeah,
doing my best.
You're fine,
not
dude.
that much better. We're
And if
okay.
you start feeling too rough, you just let us know.
No, I'm doing all right. I'm just like, foggy brain type thing at the moment. So, looking into this other room, you see this area is actually set with cushions and low stools of brown oak. So this is what you're seeing, Sirius. Above an empty dais, the wall is covered with a mosaic shaped from colored chips of bone, artfully arranged to depict scenes of funerals, the migration of souls, and the celestial realms. Lettering along the bottom of the mosaic reads, "Contemplate life, death comes soon enough."
I'll contemplate this.
No respect. No respect.
Is this room? This room appears to be lighted. Is there light in here?
There is. There are softly glowing lights that are in the wall itself. They seem to have survived even the descent into Avernus.
Ah, he said the thing. Sorry.
That's true. That's true. He did. Name drop. Title drop, as Brandon would say.
Sirius will step in and just look around.
You see much of what you saw before. There's the dais. There's an open door to the north where you hear. Go ahead and give me a perception check. So.
Ooh.
He perceived.
You hear a strange muttering sound coming from the door to the north.
He'll establish a psychic connection and tell everyone to be quiet. There's noise from a room adjacent to here.
All right.
Cirrus has perceived the dungeon master.
Sirius, if there's another evil god behind the door, please don't open it.
It's already open. He's gonna start making his way over there.
All right. Aludria is being stealthy as well, I see.
Yes.
All right. You continue to hear the muttering now that it's been pointed out to you. Aludria, if you entered as well, you could hear the muttering. So
Okay.
go ahead and put you guys where you are at the moment before
All right.
Sirius opens the door or looks in the door.
And he's gonna hang back, or my dupe is gonna hang back here since I can see. Sirius is being
Sirius
stealthy, and
is
near
going
stealthy.
to engage his psychic veil and become invisible.
All right.
All right.
Wind up. Throw.
Bjorn, are you staying right there by Eeny Meeny?
Yeah,
Bjorn.
Yes, I'm staying right by the door there.
All right. Bjorn wants no part
Sirius
of it.
wants to go check things out. I'm going to let him check things out, and then I'll go in.
You peek into the room. You see there is a shallow meditation pool that fills this room, set off from a broad landing edged by a low wrought iron railing. Wondrous frescoes along the wall depict souls gaining the blessings of Lathander, Torm, Helm, and Tyr. The frescoes on one wall have been twisted into abyssal forms surrounding a shimmering portal. The pool is littered with the mutilated bodies of humans wearing the uniforms of Baldur's Gate and Elturel. The swirling water of the pool roils with shadows and is shot through with patches of black ichor where demons have fallen here. An armored man with a shield slung over his back crouches among the bodies, writhing in pain. His eyes are closed and his hands clutch at a gold helm on his head, as if trying in vain to claw it off. Unintelligible words are spilling from his lips, some sounding saintly and solemn, while others resonate with a cruel hissing.
Sirius will tell everyone psychically, I think we found the helm.
Should I come in then?
It's on the head of a crazy man.
I can cut the head off.
That's probably the way we're gonna go. He's surrounded by a pool full of dead people.
Oh, so like we're at the poltergeist house?
He seems to be trying to remove the helm, but he's having no luck. Perhaps if we helped him remove his head, things would go easier.
I'm always down for decapitation.
Well, if this poor unfortunate is insane, perhaps I can restore him.
Okay, restore him and then I'll decapitate him.
Oh, whatever.
Well, is there anything about his look other than the fact that he's, by your account, insane, that would denote him as a follower of evil?
I didn't say he was following evil. I said he appears to be wearing the helm that we need to find, and he's having difficulty removing it from his head.
Well, then let's see if there's something I can do about that.
Knock yourself
I will
out.
not rent innocent.
Oh, now it's all about protecting innocence. When I want to protect innocence, I'm a fool and an idiot, and I'm wasting everyone's time. When it's a man who's in actual hell, surrounded by a pool of dead people, now it's time to protect the innocent. Doors that way.
I am not, because I'm Boja and not one of my characters. I'm not going to state how when you protect the innocent, they all get devoured by purple worms. They are permanent members of the club.
Yep. Been a while since we had an honorary member of the Puked Up and Funky Club.
One person in this group with a good track record of protecting the innocent, but doors that way.
You see the man still writhing on the floor. He is alternating between speaking these two different languages. Does anybody speak Celestial and or Abyssal?
I think
Doesn't
me
Boja
check.
speak Abyssal?
I think she might speak both, actually.
I speak in riddles.
Let's see.
Riddles of steel, that is.
Oh, look at you.
She does speak Celestial.
Take yourself a brownie point for that there, Mike.
Nice.
That was a nice one.
She does speak both Celestial and Abyssal?
Just Celestial.
Okay. You see the man.
Unfortunately, it's Infernal that she speaks, not Abyssal.
Oh, okay.
Celestial and
The man is rolling back and forth. You hear this hissing, screeching sound echoing from him. And then after a few moments of this horrible screeching sound that you hear, he's speaking, you hear his voice switch back. And everybody around you hearing the screeching sound like set your nerves on end, like somebody scraping their nails across a chalkboard. But when he begins speaking in the other voice, it's as if there's a calm and a blessing coming forth just from the voice itself, from the language. Boja, you understand him to be saying, he's like, the vision is clear. The vision is clear. You must go forward. Follow my heed and assemble for battle. And then he keeps saying this over and over again before switching back into the screeching sound.
All right. Boja's shield contains both a celestial spirit and some sort of fiendish spirit. I want to ask the celestial spirit contained within the shield if it understands the other language.
Hey, Sirius says to everybody, y'all walked right into that room with the crazy man.
I got all excited. You talk about decapitating somebody. I got enthusiastic.
And then Sirius can now expand his psychic connection to 6 people at a time. So he's going to reach out and try and connect with this Looney Tunes.
Nice.
Hey, crazy man with the helm. He's not revealing his location, by the way. Hey, crazy man with the helm.
Give me a wisdom save, please.
Sirius or Boja?
What if
Sirius.
the helm? What if the helm is doing some
Add a +5 because you're right next to me.
Thank you. I'm also proficient in these now.
And hold on for a minute. Mike, what were you going to say?
So what if the helm is doing some Dr. Fate shit?
It absolutely is doing something.
Well, yeah,
So-
but I mean, what if?
Don't
what?
But
Oh,
still,
Sirius
my
was about to
question
talk
would
to the
be
man with the helm. He wasn't. I'm sorry, that wasn't to you.
to whether or not the celestial spirit understood.
He's got conflicting voices, so Sirius was going to throw in a third one that says, fall on your knees and splash the water.
All right. I want to hear what Mike was going to say real quick, and then I'll tell you what happens.
What I'm concerned about is that this helm is fighting the person wearing it for control. That it has a personality of its own, and that perhaps we cannot use it either, or that maybe we should be worried about this happening.
Oh, Sirius
We
thinks
don't
it's the
have to
helm
wear
that
it.
opened the entire gateway from the abyss to Avernus in the first place. So yeah.
Okay. Sirius, you are suddenly hit with a blinding headache that blasts you to the floor. Uh, alternately, you see visions of a fortress cathedral that is impossibly tall and impossibly small at the same time, clouds floating around it. Arrayed inside the great courtyard or the tiny courtyard of this fortress are rows upon rows of gleaming knights in armor that is so impossibly bright that you fear it'll blind you, even though you're only seeing it in your mind. And at their head is a figure in golden armor standing so incredibly tall, or is he small, that it is disconcerting. And he is speaking, holding aloft a sword with a great gloved or a great gauntlet on one hand that is covered in gems and radiates incredibly powerful holy magic. Suddenly, that vision disappears, and instead you see Azazel, or is it Baphomet, or is it both? And surrounded by a huge fortress made of living bodies. They're intertwined through skulls, all of it woven together with entrails and guts and sinew. And he is writhing in pain as he appears to be transforming, as demons are undulating around him, throwing themselves down and prostrating themselves before them and being gutted, sucked into his body as is being transformed into something different. And meanwhile, this discordant voice, now two voices, is echoing in your head, though you cannot understand any of what he is saying. All the while, you feel the power pulsating from something in the room beyond. Perhaps it is the pool itself that feels like it has actually opened a portal into this realm, or to both of those realms at the same time.
Sirius will recover briefly, put his hand on Eleutheria's shoulder, and say, "Go find Alice."
I'm still
We
waiting
your
for.
head.
We need to get that helm off his head. It opened the gateway from. I'm convinced it opened the gateway from the abyss,
Probably.
I'm still waiting for an answer.
and
to
it's
the
still
question.
open, and he's flashing between scenes of Elysium and the abyss.
Right. What did you say, Jeff? What didn't I give you an answer to?
I asked you a while back if the celestial spirit in the shield could understand whatever which was being spoken.
It does.
Saying.
Well, what it says is that it doesn't understand, but the other understands.
Well, he's not likely to tell us.
Or might he?
Making any deals? Nope. No bargains. Nope. I have one other observation. What if he's impossibly tall, but he's just very, very far away?
Possibly.
He's tall and he's small.
Yeah.
He's hot and he's cold.
Had to go with.
Yeah, and
I had
I'm
to go
thin
with an
and I'm
old-
fat.
Yeah.
Had to go with an
It's
old
bigger on the
shooting range up
inside.
there. It's like, I was only 6 inches tall. I asked him, "Are you really 6 inches tall?" He looked up at me and said, "No, I'm just very far away."
He's
Are you
in and
okay,
he's
Greg?
out. He's up and he's down. Yeah, I'm just doing this because this is what Sirius was doing.
Yeah, you got the
Okay.
Katy Perry reference.
Yeah. That helm has been corrupted, and it's driving him insane.
Mm. Yeah.
So
I'm kind of curious. The sword that you saw in the vision and the gauntlet. Did they look like the ones that we just found?
actually,
Does
I
that,
was wondering that too. Now, did the gauntlet or the sword look like the ones from the sarcophagus?
The
Were they
sword. Okay.
Were they being wielded by a big purple guy with a wrinkled chin?
Yes, they are. As a matter of fact,
You can't
they
have my soul gem.
they are similar in the same way that someone who tried to craft a or paint a copy of the Mona Lisa is similar, but they are pale imitations of what you saw in your vision.
Okay. Cirrus is going to reach back to the psychic connection and say, "Hey, splishy splashy."
Go ahead and give me another wisdom save. And what were you going to say, Jeff?
+5.
No, I wasn't saying anything. I was just making face considering.
20.
I'm
All right.
like Craig. Sometimes I'm acting out what the character's doing while I'm sitting here.
Connecting again with your mind, you are once again hit with the vision and you are overwhelmed this time. And you are struck, falling backward as if being punched in the face. And you begin writhing back and forth, saying the same words that the man inside is uttering. So,
Okay, do I have time to throw
Well,
something at him before I fall over and convulse?
no. Nope.
Then I'm just severing my psychic connection. Fuck him.
All right. If you sever your psychic connection, you will recover. But you've
Now,
got
now can I throw something at him?
you've got a blistering headache. Sure, you can throw something at him.
I'll throw my migraine dagger.
That should have been an advantage, so just one.
All right.
Did I hit him?
You hit it. This should be interesting. And he is unable to protect himself, so he gets sneak attack damage as well. So
37.
congratulations. The psychic blade pierces him, and he tumbles forward and falls face first, the helm falling off his head. You have just killed Duke Older Ravengard.
Yeah, but Cirrus doesn't know that.
No, you don't.
right.
Baldur, can you do something about that?
We got the helm.
None of you know that. You don't know that's Duke Ravengard. That's out of character.
But
And what exactly do we do with the helmet that induces madness?
don't put it on.
As the helm tumbles off of his head. So I'm going to wait. What are Boza going to do first? And then I will tell you something.
I want to make sure that pool of dead bodies is not going to try and eat me. So to test things out, I have Eni's Echo wander over their body back to here.
All right.
See if oh, wait, I'm sorry. The dupe can't do that. The dupe is technically an object, not a person. So Eni will have to do that himself.
All right. Real quick before you do that. As the helm tumbles off the body, the pool stops boiling. The black tendrils that were interlaced through the pool recede and then disappear, and the pool becomes calm water once again. And this area actually feels sanctified. So,
As Boja and Eni are moving towards the Duke's body, I will telekinetically use a mage hand to pull the helm out of the water.
okay. Let's see what Eni does so that you can move the helm.
All right, so he goes out there, he grabs the body of persons unknown, drags it to shore. If nothing awful happens, Boja will cast Revivify upon it.
Okay, a couple things happen. You are able to bring the body to shore, no problem.
Okay.
Give me a wisdom save, please.
Save for Eni.
Yes.
That's going to be glorious.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
That, of course,
Not
being
bad,
my
actually.
best. Wow. I'm pleased for a change.
The water clings to your scales, your newfound scales, as you are pulling it out.
Oh, shit.
And as you dump the body on the ground, you hear a voice, loud, imperious, and commanding in your voice. What evil draconic enters into the pool blessed to my service? Pledge yourself to good or feel my wrath, the wrath of Torn.
Am I free to act?
You absolutely are.
I'm leaving the room.
Okay.
Just like, yep, nope. I'll leave my dupe in there, but I'm out.
Give me one more wisdom save, please.
I can't get that lucky twice, can I?
No.
Holy crap!
Maybe
I
you
almost
can.
get that.
You are some instinctual sense. Call it cobalt sense, call it draconic sense, call it the blessing of Tiamat, whatever it is. You throw yourself on the floor with the need to get this water off you as quick as possible as you worry that something horrible is going to happen. It is the fear of evil against good, or
I dropped to all fours and I do the dog shake.
Yeah. So all of you see Eni run out and begin shaking like a dog, getting water, and it is up to. I'll let Jeff role play the rest. So.
No. Yeah,
I believe they call that shaking your moneymaker.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I will bring my echo out as well.
Yeah.
Ma'am, did we hear the voice of Torm speaking to him?
No, this was in his head.
Okay, bummer.
All right.
He's just sitting there going like,
No, I was going to tell Torm to leave you alone, or I was going to throw his holy ring into the river Styx.
All right.
So maybe for the best that Cirrus didn't hear him.
Yeah, I'm going to try to bring the body close to Boja so she can cast Revivify.
All right. You were able to bring the body close to Boja, and Boja is able to cast Revivify with no complications. You see the color return to this man's face. He is clad in the armor of Baldur's Gate, although it is much richer. His face has a black beard, and he looks to be
a pirate.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Nobility about him, but he does recover, but does not recover consciousness. So, but he is
we'll
breathing
give you some
once again.
As Boja kneels down and clasps her holy symbol, places her enormous hand on his chest. You see the holy symbol flare with silver white flames, and her hand also ignites with flames, and they trace out, going into his open orifices like his nose, his ears, his mouth, eyelids before they flutter open, and he takes his first gasping breath as his chest rises beneath her hand.
Nice. Get yourself a point of inspiration there for that wonderful description. So
nice.
And as he opens his eye, as the Duke opens his eyes and sees Boja over him, Cirrus will also lean over and say, "You're welcome."
Well, he has been revivified, but he is still not conscious. So
Oh, never mind
I'm
that.
not going to be able to decapitate him.
No.
No, I'm sorry, Bjorn. I don't think that'll be necessary this time.
As the DM, I'm going to say there's nothing preventing you from decapitating him. So.
Bjorn, do you want me to put the helmet back on his head so you have a reason to decapitate him?
No,
I
it's got to be a valid reason. I'm just bummed that you had me all excited to cut a head off. Is all I'm saying.
Sometimes you just got to cut a head off.
I am not wasting all of my spells just so you two can enjoy your gruesome delights for the day.
I'd like it noted for the record. I do not enjoy decapitations, especially the way his sloppy ass does it, 3 or 4 whacks at a time.
I did it. They wouldn't let me torture him, so I had to come up with I had to come up with an option that would allow me to do a little something and still carry out my duties.
Seriously, don't suggest it to him. How enthusiastic he gets.
I'm gonna go get some cold medicine real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, I'm gonna go get some tea then. Be right back.
Sorry, I need some drugs. Give me. So talk amongst yourselves.
E.T. All right. So how about them bears? Duh, bears.
Those aren't pillows.
Classic. I've got my hand between these two pillows. Pillows are strangely warm and hairy. That part's not in the movie. I just added in for context.
Well, yeah. Not every story is an anecdote. Here's an idea. When you tell a story, have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
Definitely.
As one of my favorites was Steve Martin and John Candy, for sure.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, that's definitely one of their best films, independently or together.
Yep.
Hey, how do you know when you become cultured? Go ahead. Uh-oh.
I was asking you how.
Oh, I said, how do you know when you become cultured and sophisticated as a man? When you no longer chug NyQuil, you actually measure it out and take the recommended dosage. So,
I go by mouthfeel.
Yeah, I used to do that. Now I'm more sophisticated. I actually drink it with my pinky up and everything. So.
Oh, with the pinky up and everything.
Yeah.
Wow. Aren't you just Mr. Hoity-toity with the fancy pants?
I know.
Proper gentleman.
And those are the only pants I'm wearing. Ooh, so, all right.
It's all.
I got furniture disease. My chest is falling into my drawers.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it had Tom Smothers and Pee Wee Herman in it. It was a spoof of slasher films way back in the 80s. People into furniture, and they found his lair, and there's all these chairs and armoires and things, and Pee Wee is the deputy of Tom Smothers, who's a Mountie, and he opens up one of the drawers. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, nothing, and then he confesses, all right, I was trying to get into her drawers. Yeah. I still like the joke.
It had to be said.
It also starred Carol Kane, so that'll help you. Anybody who wants to find it. I think it was called Student Bodies, but a few slasher spoofs back in the day that were just slapsticky comedies after the craze of like Jason and Michael Myers and all that stuff. There's a pretty good one where the killer actually stops the movie halfway through, and I thought that there was an interruption in the signal because the screen just goes and then it goes blue and kind of like and it pops back on, and the killer came to you. Hey, it's Breather. who do you think I am, right? And he starts listing off, and you see pictures of the different people who are in the movie who have been potential suspects. Like, am I the sick pervert gardener? Am I the uptight professor? Bits I found clever back in the day.
Yeah. I've never. Maybe the spoof movies are good. I don't know, but since I was a kid, I haven't enjoyed them.
I think that they're always hit or miss for me. I either think they're hilarious or they're like really cringe. It's one or the other. So
yeah, it's pretty much either all or nothing, and some of
Yeah.
them I really found enjoyable. And there's a lot of the ones in the '80s I like, but there were definitely some like Saturday the 14th was another fun horror spoof movie.
although I will say this. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying like certain ones I've seen in more recent years are very, very hit. Some of them were like within the first 10 minutes, I know I'm not going to make it through this movie. It's like, all right, stop, on to the next.
One of the worst I've ever seen. There was one called "We Are the Spartans," which was
Oh, I saw that.
Oh my God, it is so horribly bad. Like I like the scary movie ones, but they got progressively worse over time. So, but it's funny, whether it's hit or miss, oftentimes has to do with like how much sleep I've had, and at the time when I was still drinking, how much I've had to drink. It's funny how the misses become more in the hit category the more I've had to drink.
A lot of people tried to jump on the scary movie train because the scary movie series was being helmed by either the Zucker brothers or the Wayans brothers, and both of those are well known for their comedy chops. And so a lot of other studios are like, that's making money, let's make our own, but they didn't have writers equal to the talent of those guys.
But most people don't realize that both the Zuckers and Wayans got out of Scary Movie, and they ended up doing like a Scary Movie 4 and 5, which were just they were out there. All right,
one to watch is like watch the behind the scenes commentary, and you'll see some of the jokes that the Zuckers dropped, and you're like, they were right to drop those jokes. Those were bad.
Yeah, no, Scary Movie was definitely awesome and an awesome idea, but they ground it.
Yeah,
I mean, they just ground it to dirt.
They built that thing to death. I mean, even Marlon Wayans got out of it after a while. He's like, I can't do this movie anymore. So it's not like people are beating Marlon Wayans' story. Although I think the guy's funny, but All right. Anyway,
you know what? I've got to have enough integrity to say like, I can't cash this paycheck. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, unless you're Scott Bakula, then you'll do anything that comes across your desk. But all right,
That's
enough of the movie. Yeah, enough of the movie review. So what do you guys want to do now? So you have managed to revivify this man. You don't know who he is in character anyway, but he has not regained consciousness.
Let's see. I'm gonna try healing word. See if a little healing spell brings him up. You know what? If I'm gonna cast the first level spell, I'll go ahead and make it a full cure wounds.
Okay.
So let's do a D8. We'll just do it at first level for now. D8 plus 5 is 13 points.
You cast Cure Wounds upon him, and he was wounded. Besides the psychic dagger, he had wounds from various other battles on his body. And you were able to cure him, but he still does not regain consciousness.
Eleuthria, do you see any enchantment on him?
I'll go ahead and look at him and see if there's any magic on him.
I mean, he is wearing magical armor, so anybody who wants to loot him now can do that, obviously. But other than the magical armor, you don't see any enchantment upon his body. There's nothing affecting his body in that way. So
I mean, Cirrus will describe to everyone what he was seeing in this guy's head.
Man, I don't want to burn through all of her spells, but the only other thing is to drop perhaps a greater restoration on him to see if that'll wake him up.
We don't. I mean, Cirrus will search him for anything identifying. Signet rings, papers, documents. I don't know if anyone's described to us who we're looking for, but
You begin searching his body. He's wearing a ring with a flaming fist on it.
oh, those dicks.
He also has a shield across his back once you turn him over. And it's strapped to his back, and it is an ornate shield, also with the symbol of the flaming fist on it. He is wearing a incredibly expensive scabbard that is empty, but the scabbard is inlaid with gold and pearls. And the armor that he is wearing has the symbol, a holy symbol of Torm, that has been fashioned into the symbol of the flaming fist on the center of the armor as well.
It might be possible that his missing sword is still in the pool. And given that the died, Boja's going to wander into the water and look for it. How deep is the water?
How deep is your love?
Deep.
Sorry, a little BG's reference there.
Deep love for the deep.
I was having the same thought, honestly. And Cirrus will also have Cassie just fly overhead while Boja is looking in the water. Cassie will be circling it above.
All right. Well, between the two of you, or you're able to find the sword in towards the back wall in the shallower section. Actually, it's near where the part of the fresco has been transformed into something demonic, and that has not changed back, by the way. And the sword, if Luthria is watching, also is radiating magic over in the water.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I see it.
All right.
How many other bodies are in the water?
Oh, there are at least 10 bodies of different people. Some of them wearing the raiment of Elturel's, others wearing the raiment of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. I'm kind of like saying a prayer for the fallen.
Okay.
I'm looking to see if they have anything interesting or shiny about them.
The bodies?
Yes.
Of
course.
I'm sure that you could collect various shiny bits and baubles off of them. I mean, it's not going to be a ton of money, but you could probably collect around 200 gold pieces worth of stuff off of them. Rings and gold teeth, those type of things.
I will not be prying out their teeth.
Oh, okay. Well, you can still get some small amount of gold stuff off of them. So
Misty solid gold isn't going to take out the teeth?
That's good. We got a player me and Jennifer plays with, and she runs around collecting necklaces of teeth of monsters and humanoids, like she's one of those deranged Vietnam veterans.
Actually, I do that.
Okay.
I'm currently wearing dragon teeth.
I mean, you got to draw the line somewhere, So
You don't take them from humanoids too. She takes them from anything she encounters.
Oh.
Cirrus is a thief, not a dentist.
Yeah. I just make knives out of them. That's all I do.
You managed to retrieve the longsword.
Yes.
The longsword is incredibly well made. It has a gold pommel, or at least gold. It's not made of gold, but it's like gold overlay, and it's shaped. It has a symbol.
Oh, sorry.
It has a symbol of the flaming fist on it, as well as the crest on one side of the pommel, and on the other side of the pommel is the crest of Baldur's Gate. And there is a coat of arms on either of the quillions on the edge, stamped into
Okay.
it.
All right. Do I recognize
What is-
the coat of arms? I can make a roll.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a roll.
I'll make history.
What you gonna say something, Jim?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
And I'll
Ooh,
roll guidance.
roll.
30.
The coat of arms is a raven over a tower with a flaming fist on either side of the tower. You recognize it as the coat of arms of the Raven Guard family.
This is the sword of Lord Ravengard. The crest is the house of Ravengard.
I mean that tracks. What's her name said that Duke Ravengard was leading men off in search of
Yeah.
I guess that's Duke Ravengard, and Cirrus waves at the pool. I guess those are his men.
Yeah.
And it would seem he found what he was after.
Yeah.
And what an
Much to-
inspiring leader.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that, Green.
Cirrus looks at the pool again and says, "And what an inspiring leader."
Yeah. Well, this is a guy who keeps getting captured every 5 minutes, so.
And opened the portal from the abyss to Avernus.
Yeah.
I know about this other party over in this town called Silverlight that needs to rest about every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about them. One of them got turned into a vampire too. Those guys suck.
Yeah.
That one especially.
Yeah.
I heard they were.
Complain about me being a vampire.
I heard they were responsible for a whole onslaught of lycanthropy, all up the sword cut.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope we don't have to put him down someday.
There's a smart ass owl that keeps like shaking his head behind him, going like, "Should have listened to me. Told you so."
Cirrus will try and slap the guy awake.
You slap him silly.
Slap
and he
that
does not
baby,
wake up.
make him breathe.
Yeah.
Magic dance.
Back to Labyrinth again.
Try to give him water.
Suddenly, this man with huge hair comes in for a moment and goes, "Do you know you brought the Babe line? I'm sorry, my brain's not working today. You remind me of the
Cirrus
Babe.
says, "Hey, you remind me of the babe.
Babe with the power.
What Babe?
The babe with the
Babe
power.
with the power.
What
Power
power?
of voodoo.
Power of
Who
voodoo."
do? You
You
do.
do.
Remind me of the Babe. I love my baby.
Mhm.
I don't know the rest of the words.
Right. Now this is a song I know by heart.
All right.
What could I do?
Thank you, everybody, for putting that in my brain. Now I'm going to have to watch Labyrinth again later. So, all right.
Yeah.
That's not a bad
That's a
thing.
bad thing.
You're welcome for that.
What?
Power
Now I
Bowie.
have
This
to,
is
Watch
awesome.
David Bowie.
all right. Now I have to ask
Yeah.
the question, though,
You can
because
watch-
there.
You can watch David Bowie with his bulging crotch pursue the 16-year-old Jennifer Connelly the whole film.
Yeah, well,
He had a little Robert Plant thing going on there, that's for sure.
there is a question I have to ask, though. Knowing how Steve loves musicals, how do you feel about Labyrinth that only has some music in it? Is that acceptable? Like the Blues Brothers. Are you okay with the Blues Brothers?
I mean, as long as it's a tolerable amount and the songs don't suck. Less is possible, though.
I too hate musicals, and
Absolutely.
Labyrinth is tolerable.
Steve has a meter.
The
So
Mike seal of approval.
Steve and Mike have meters. It's like the amount of music, and it's like get near the red line, it starts buzzing. It's like, musical alert, musical alert.
Yeah.
Comes
But
up
I
with
just
buzzing-
can't get into a movie where people randomly sing their thoughts.
For no
You
reason.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody fucking does that.
I will tell you that I've done that. So
Yeah.
100%.
I allow for the Buffy musical because it actually has a reasonable rationale for why they would do it.
Okay, we do not
The
stand
songs are okay.
Rocky Horror Picture Show slander on this podcast.
Mhm.
I agree. All right, we will agree to disagree. Look at us. We're building bridges between
Yeah.
musicals and non-musicals people. So
Yeah, it's not like we're arguing about the acolyte or anything.
yeah. Well, all right, we won't even get into that.
Let's not even start.
The power of many.
many.
Yeah, there will be no power of many here. That is that's too frightening even for Avernus, and we'll just leave it at that. So some places even I won't go. I've been there. I don't want to go back. All right. Where were we? I've lost my train of thought now that we
So
were
slapping him didn't have any
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah, you slapped that baby. You set him free, but he did not wake up. So
Boja is going to attempt greater restoration on him. She'll put her hands on either side of his head, dip her head in prayer to Saren Ray, and let
I was just going to go put
power
his
flow
face in water, but okay.
all right. Can you read me the spell description of Greater Restoration real quick?
Yeah, sure thing. Let me pull up the sheet. Grand restoration. I don't know why, like, you can't put the.
All right. Well,
No,
just
no,
now, while they're all doing this, Cirrus is going to sit down and attempt to identify this helm as a ritual.
All right,
Okay.
here you go.
I can identify the longsword as well. Just, I mean, we're probably going to give it back to him anyway. But
You cast Greater Restoration, taking your time to cast it on Duke Ravengard. And while it appears to have some effect on him, it still does not rouse him to consciousness.
Yeah. I think we've wasted all the slots we need to waste on the guy.
Yeah,
Um,
else. Whatever
you
is
take-
befallen, man, is extreme.
You identify the longsword. It's simply a magical longsword +1.
okay. Wow, that's cheap for a Grand Duke.
You know, he's a cheap duke. So, taking the time needed to cast the ritual, you identify the helm as the helm of Torm's sight.
On site. Was there something about could this Torm guy see really far or see things we couldn't see or something? What Anybody know
Torm
about
is
this
kind of the
Torm guy?
Heimdall of Forgotten Realms, so
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
he's a god, so he's more than we do.
Well, apparently
I don't
he
know
didn't
that I
see
wanna-
someone stealing his helm, so
I
Really look-
don't know that I want to see that much, especially not all at once.
yeah,
Maybe
that's probably
what drove him mad.
That's my guess. Yeah.
Torm is the fair ancient deity of paladins and the god of duty, loyalty, righteousness, obedience, and law. All
Yeah.
great big things for this group. So
Vigilance.
yeah, the stick up his ass has a stick up its ass.
his
Yeah.
symbol is a clenched fist, a gauntlet.
Okay, the stick up his ass has a clenched fist up its ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we don't kink shame here. So
Um,
And he's the less
Is
bad
there-
one.
But
Oh, okay,
something
he's-
was off
yeah,
because Duke Dumbass here was wearing that helm and he was split between seeing what I assume was something celestial
Mhm.
and something that was definitely abyssal. So,
Mhm.
but
And it was
But-
more than he could bear.
was it Azazel? Was it Asmodeus? One of these demons or devils said something to us about that helm in this place opening the path from the abyss to Avernus.
indeed, someone did say that to you.
Yeah, we are not doing anything with that while we're on Avernus.
No,
Um,
but Why would
Opening
the
up
hell?
something to the abyss is a bad thing, right?
But it's been done. I mean, one could argue that I closed it by stopping him, but it was done. Why would Helm of Torm's sight open a path from hell to hell, or hell to the abyss?
To this, yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
just spitballing here, but
We're right in the middle of the blood war.
perhaps,
Might have something to do with that.
perhaps someone, I don't know, enchanted the spell, the helm, or cursed the helm, or somehow messed with the magic of the helm, in order to produce this. What if we did some sort of a disenchant kind of a thing? I don't know. Like, my job is hitting things, not magic.
Someone at least implied, and I don't remember who it was, and I don't know how much we should trust them, that Helm's presence here in Avernus was responsible for continuing that gateway, because that's why they wanted it.
It might have been
Well, then
Asmodeus.
destroy the helm, right?
I'm thinking it was on the demonic side, but I'm not sure.
Mm.
Because
Well,
Asmodeus, he doesn't want that opening.
Yeah.
Well,
Assuming we can destroy it, magical items are very
Yeah.
resistant to damage.
Could-
the more powerful,
You
the more
you
difficult
could banish
it
it though, back to its
Well,
proper plane.
we also
No,
enjoy
I can-
throwing things into the river Styx.
creature. That still leaves it on this plane.
Well, I mean, even if we send it back to Turil, I'm not. Oh, I wish I could remember. I'm not convinced that would solve our problems.
Hmm.
Oh. Well, it doesn't tell us where we have to go from here to find the sword of Zariel.
I mean, then when I identified it, okay, it said it was the Helm of Torm's sight. Did I get anything about what it could do?
You did not.
Well, that's a useless friggin' spell.
It
I think
is
we're just dealing
simply-
with things that are so powerful that we're not getting the full impression of it.
is simply the helm of Torm's sight, as if that's self-evident. So
Can I try a religion check to see if that means anything?
certainly,
In the meantime, I would suggest
Why?
until we
Only
until
you,
we decide
Sirius.
what to do with it. Perhaps we should put the helm into one of the bags of holding that we carry.
Yeah.
you search your mind for some religious connotation or so. You know that helm is the god of duty and loyalty. But other than that, you're not sure what the helm of Torm's sight might do.
Okay, let's see. Raven Queen, Tempest, Sarenrae. Kill, 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 blood, blood, blood. Anyone talk to Torm lately?
He's not a god that I normally speak to.
Nor I. No. Everybody, like he starts looking over at Bjorn.
Hmm.
You can still hit it.
Isn't Bjorn?
I didn't hear what you said. Isn't Bjorn what?
Isn't Bjorn a war cleric of Torm?
Tempest.
No.
Tempest.
Tempest.
Okay.
I think we should at least put this in a bag of holding in the meantime so that
Yeah.
people aren't chasing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take the greatsword back out and just to hold on to it. I am going to have to look at it more closely.
If I was a war cleric of Torm, I imagine there would be a lot more rules applied to how I was supposed to act.
I mean, the helm was driving him crazy because he was seeing two very different things.
Mm.
But neither of them were Avernus. So it's not like he was seeing the things he was connecting.
I'm still saying some kind of Dr. Fate shit is going on.
Well, yeah.
It does strike
Yeah.
me as
Well, we're not going to find anything sitting here. I think we're going to have to bring Raven Guard with us and explore the rest of the complex.
I mean,
You say
ultimately,
we, like somebody else besides me is going to carry that corpse around.
Well, Enoch probably
Boju-
could.
he's
Eni
not a
can carry him or
corpse.
Boji.
Well,
Bozja's willing to carry a corpse around?
he's
He's
not
not
a corpse.
dead.
He's not
He's
a
not dead yet.
There's the difference between mostly dead and all dead.
Not dead.
Well,
I'm feeling much better.
She did restore him to life and gave him at least hit points.
Cirrus will walk back to the edge of the pool here.
Mhm.
Oh, Lord. That really changes one's perspective on it. It just, I don't know. How deep is it?
It's not incredibly deep. I mean, at its deepest point, you could probably about 5 or 6 feet.
Hmm.
So Boja walked out without her head ever going under.
Yes.
Okay.
it looks
And
like
the
it looks
creepy
like some of the
demonic
Nagi
side,
are floating in the bottom.
creepy demonic side is here.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
There are still
Mm.
bodies in the water, even though it's sanctified.
He's gonna step into the water, but not go very far at first to see if anything happens to him.
Nope. Not as far as you can tell.
Then he's gonna cross over and see if he can take a look at the demonic wall.
You look at the demonic wall, as I described before. The scenes on the other walls have been changed. And instead of go back to this real quick. Sorry, I'm having a hard time reading. My eyes are going crazy too. They've been twisted into abyssal forms surrounding a shimmering portal. They're cavorting in front of this portal that has been corrupted so that the bright light is twisted through with black tendrils, and you see demons emerging from the portal. That's what the fresco shows. So.
Does it look carved, or does it look like it just formed that way? Can I tell?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check again. It looks carved. However, the carvings look like they have been warped and twisted to take on a new form at the same time. So it's strange, as if what was originally carved there has been reformed, and as if the tiny bits of rock and glass and bone that were used to create this mosaic have been tortuously warped to create something new.
Okay. Thank you. I guess I'll just come back over. Well, shall we continue on?
Yeah, I think that's for the best. We may have to come back later, but I
Seems
think for now it's a good idea.
Boja will tie loops around the Duke's hands and feet, so she can kind of wear him like a backpack.
Okay. He suddenly gets a very gold look to him for some reason. So, and begins saying things like, I'm fluent in over 7 million languages. So, all right. So,
You
you
miserably.
6 million?
where do you guys want to go?
South, I guess.
Sure, why not?
All right. Well, it's entirely up to you where you want to go for this point. So,
Okay.
Hey, Sirius likes to snoop. I'm content to let him snoop. I'll just send the Duke.
I'm like
with-
stuck. Okay, there we go. Sorry.
You just gotta open the door. You gotta be careful because sometimes you accidentally click the door. I did it like a bunch of times earlier.
Roll 20
Right.
has messed up all my maps.
At least you didn't lose all your character sheets.
Yeah.
That's gonna suck having to rewrite all of those damn things
Jesus.
with no guarantee that they'll stay.
All right.
That
Yeah.
that reminds me, there are a bunch of character profiles and stuff on the drive and character sheets that I had.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I gotta check out what I can do with the sub.
Yeah.
All the features.
Coming into this area, you see more alcoves and filled with bodies. You also see that there are what look like small areas that used to hold that be curtained off, and they contain chairs, and it looks like a raised platform. These areas right here.
Okay.
Looks like it used to be one of them, like the Hall of Kings, where all the former king statues would have been in a row there or something. That's what it
Yeah.
makes me think of anyway.
But there are no statues there?
It doesn't look like it.
No.
That does not fill me with joy. This does not spark joy. I just searched.
Red team, you're no joy, no joy. I have no joy.
Cirrus will search the pedestals for traps and secret compartments, and yeah, you know the drill.
Yep.
30.
You search thoroughly. You do not find anything, though. It looks clear.
Well, it's either a Hall of Kings or those used to be Borg alcoves.
Maybe they just had open mic night and a lot of bands came.
You continue on down this long, long hallway, seeing much of the same, but everything appears to be as it was before. Incredibly quiet, which is disconcerting in and of itself. To the north, you see the same room you were in before that has been blessed by Bojan.
So if we, this is serious to the rest of the party. So if we think this guy is Duke Ravengard, should we take him back across the way to those people who were looking for him?
Yeah, we could. I mean, I also had the thought of, like, once he was in a precondition to, we could just banish him back to Toriel.
We'd need to make sure somebody was there to take care of him in this state, so I'd have to banish him and someone else.
Why?
Well, if he just appears unconscious somewhere on Torwell, anybody can wander upon him. or a
He's
creature.
obviously capable of taking care of himself.
When
He looks
he's
over his shoulder,
has his faculties, yes.
He's still completely unconscious, despite my best efforts.
Whole room full of people boarded up and slowly starving. Yep, we'll
Yeah.
catch you later.
Yeah.
One man
Plus-
in expensive one rich man in expensive armor and a scabbard. Oh, we have to make sure he's okay.
He has information that we can use, though. I would like to see what happens when if we can get him to talk.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if we do banish him back home, I'm not comfortable just banishing a completely helpless person and leaving it, especially not with everything that's been going on lately. I can't choose where he reappears.
Well, I think we've kind of covered this basement, unless I'm missing a direction.
Nope, we've been all around it.
Yeah, seems to be the case.
Looks that way.
Yes, you have.
So
It
Which
appears you
means
have.
our only is back up the funhouse slide of the staircase that we came down in.
I can
Yep.
cast spider climb, go up and send a rope down.
Okay.
All right. You were able to do that. Are you going back outside or up and out?
Yeah, I want to make sure everybody comes up before we do anything.
All right.
All right.
Everybody. There we go.
You take your time and eventually are able to make your way out of this area, the ossuary, and back up into the chapel. And hold on for just a second.
And up the stairs.
Yep, you're able to get up the stairs, no problem. I'm going to put you back on the chapel page in just a second.
All right.
Does anybody else feel like it's been like 6 years since they had a drink?
It has been 6 years since you had a drink. You don't know it, but
What the
It's
fuck?
Time
been
is
81 years.
Time is different
Nice.
here.
Very nice. Do you want to hear this story or not, Mr. Levitt?
all right, guys. I have to tell you, I've got like an incredible migraine now. I'm having an incredible hard time just reading and seeing anything. So, just letting
need
you
to
know.
stop?
That sounds like, if
do
you
we
wanna
need to
bail,
call it,
man,
dude?
I'm okay to try and soldier on for a little bit. I'm hoping it's going to get better because I took some stuff, but I'm just having a hard time concentrating or reading. I'm like, I can't even. I'm looking at the map right now. I just moved you guys on. I can barely see it. So
All right.
my head is killing me.
That. All right. I mean, if you still want to do it, I mean, I appreciate it, but it doesn't sound like you can continue like this.
Yeah.
Why don't we call it, man? You don't need to push on if you're feeling that bad. You're just gonna feel worse.
All
I mean,
right.
let's call it before we get into something. You
Yeah.
know, like
I apologize. I really wanted to play tonight, but
Dude.
man, my brain is killing me now. And the more I
2 hours
squint,
isn't too bad.
the more I squint trying to see, the worse this headache is getting. So
Hey,
That's
no
what I was
apology
thinking.
necessary.
Hmm.
We got back into Avernus. That's the big step. So next
Yeah.
week we'll get
And
further.
we finished the ossuary, so
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I apologize. Let's go ahead and take us out then. So.
All right.